5 bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire. 5 bells moving immediately.
That's it. Let's roll!
Let's go! Firefighters!
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a moment, we'll join Chief Cody and Tim Collins at the scene of the great forest fire against which they and the men of several fire companies have been waging a steadily losing battle. Beginning in a furniture showroom, the fire spread to a large field, quickly raced through the dry grass, and now half the large state forest preserve is a mass of roaring flame. The long weeks of dry weather has left the trees and undergrowth easy prey to the spreading fire, which is now traveling even faster than before, fanned as it is by a brisk wind. Forced to abandon their fight in the field, Chief Cody and his men have taken up positions deep in the forest, hoping to throw up a defense with a wall of water as the fire advances toward them. But now, a new disaster threatens, a disaster we'll learn about right after the following message. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to the State Forest Preserve where Chief Cody, Tim, and the men of several engine companies are battling an uncontrolled forest fire. A fire that has swept across a large field, leaped 2 fire breaks the men attempted to throw up, and continues its destructive way through the forest area. Chief Cody and his smoke eaters have taken up a defense in the midst of the forest using water from a nearby pond. To the north of them, Rad Sampson, head forest ranger, and a large group of volunteers are felling trees in an effort to check the disastrous blaze. Just how successful this effort is, we learn as Rad himself stumbles breathlessly up to Chief Cody and Tim.
Tim! Oh, Tim!
Hello, Rad. What's up?
The fire. Up at the other end. Yes, I'm Chief Cody, Rad. Hello, Chief. How are you men progressing up there? Not good at all, Chief. We were felling trees to make a fire break, my men and the volunteers. Yeah? Thought we had it wide enough. But when the fire got up to us, she jumped right across. I was afraid of it. This wind will carry flying embers 100 yards. And that's just what happened. Burning branches blew across, set the trees afire on the other side of our break. That's bad. And the really bad part of it is, there's a group of houses on the other side of the forest preserve.
Uh-oh.
And now, the fire's headed straight for them. How far from the fire are the houses right now? Maybe 500 yards. 500 yards, huh? It'll be 500 feet in a matter of minutes with this wind carrying the fire. That's what I'm afraid of, Chief. Tim, we've got to act fast.
Yes, sir.
There isn't a ghost of a chance of stopping that fire now.
What about the people in those houses, sir?
That's what I'm thinking about. We've got to get them out of there, and fast.
What's your plan, Chief?
Well, you go with Rad.
Yes, sir.
Get up to that group of houses and warn those people. Tell them to start getting their stuff moved out.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, I'll have the men get more lines so they can move their operation farther to the north. We may not be able to stop the fire's advance, but perhaps we can check it long enough to evacuate those folks.
Right, sir. We're on our way.
Good. I'll rejoin you as soon as I get these men moved to the north.
Moving quickly through the forest, with the fire roaring ominously behind them, Tim and Rad, the forest ranger, head for the small community on the north side of the preserve. In a matter of minutes, they have spread the word among the residents, hurrying from one house to the other with a sober warning that their homes are endangered, that they must act immediately if they are to save anything. Quickly, without panic, the people move out their furniture, send their children away from the area to a safe place. While all this is going on, Chief Cody, Gonigal, and the other brave men of the engine companies are fighting a delaying action, doing their utmost to slow down the destructive progress of the fire.
We're going to have to move back, Gonigal. Fire's almost on us again.
She sure travels fast, Chief, but I think we're slowing her down, don't you?
Yeah. And if the water in that pond you found holds out, we can continue to hold her back.
She'll hold out. I just checked her, Chief. She's still several feet deep.
Good. All right, men. Fall back 50 feet or so. Go to work on another line of trees.
Oh, for a sudden rainstorm. If our little bit of water slows the blaze this much, think what a real overall soaking would do.
It's like wishing for the moon, Gonigal, to wish for rain. Clouds up there look black enough, but It hasn't rained in this area for 6 weeks.
Well, it's got to rain sometimes. Why not now?
Somehow it never does when you want it to. No, we'll just have to keep fighting with our 2 lines and these portable power pumps. Hope we check her long enough to let Tim and Rad get those people evacuated. That's far enough, men. Now pour it on those trees. Soak them up good.
And watch for burning embers. Those are the real troublemakers.
Right. A burning branch blown loose can jump our whole line of watered-down trees. Oh, no. There's one now. Follow it, men. Follow it with your line and douse it before it gets a chance to start another fire.
I'll get her, Chief. On a double, man. Let's knock that fire down.
While the chief and his men battle as best they can the advancing flames, Tim and Rad are supervising the evacuation of the people from their homes, a job that saddens them both as they see men, women, and children hurriedly collecting their possessions, leaving to the fire's fury the homes they love.
Gee, Rad, this sort of gets me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yesterday, these folks are living peacefully, secure in the homes they've taken years to build. Today, with destruction minutes away, they're forced to flee for their lives.
If there was only something we could do to stop that advancing fire.
That's the way a forest fire is, Tim. Like a great beast running wild, devouring everything in its path.
If we'd only get a good rain, a sudden cloudburst, it'd be a godsend.
I'm afraid there's no chance of that. There's a few clouds in the sky, but I doubt if it'll rain.
Excuse me, have either of you gentlemen seen my wife? She was here just a moment ago.
Oh, no, sir, I haven't. Maybe she...
Oh, there she is. Mary! Mary, I've been looking for you. Thank heavens you're safe, Mary.
That's the terrible thing about fire, Rad. It strikes so suddenly, uprooting families, causing heartache and sorrow.
Well, we should be thankful for one thing. We had enough warning to get the people out without loss of life.
Yes, but their homes, all they have, swept away in a matter of hours. If there were only some way we could stop it.
Well, Tim, you might pray for rain. A good soaking rain would stop that fire.
Pray for rain. Yes, Rad, a good cloudburst really would be a gift from heaven right now.
But it'll have to come soon.
Rain. If it would only rain. Rad.
Yeah?
Rad, I've thought of something.
Yes?
Why can't we make it rain?
Make it rain?
Yeah.
Now, look, Tim. We hope. And we can pray for rain. But what do you mean, make it rain?
I just remembered something I read in the local paper a month or so ago, Rad. A group of scientists in town were experimenting with rain.
Experimenting with rain? What do you mean?
Well, they went up in an airplane and dropped particles of dry ice through rain clouds. Seeded the clouds. Yeah, seeded the clouds, I think they called it.
Drop dry ice into the clouds?
Right. And in 2 minutes, it began to rain.
Man-made rain, eh?
That's right. The rain was there in the cloud beforehand, but the dry ice started it falling.
Gee, do you suppose...
Well, it would work here? I don't know, Rad. I don't know. Those are pretty heavy-looking clouds, though.
But, Tim, it would save a whole community.
Yeah. Yeah, and the homes of all these people. Rad.
Yeah, Tim.
I say it's worth trying. Now, Dr. Harry Curtis was one of the scientists working with the rain experiment, and Chief Cody knows him.
But can you get him to act in time? That fire
I know. The fire is close, and it's getting closer every minute. But it's worth a gamble, Rad. Now, you stay here and see that the people get out safely. I'm going to see Chief Cody.
Right, Rainmaker, and good luck.
A moment later, Tim comes breathlessly up to the chief and his men, who are still doggedly fighting the advancing fire. After the chief has heard the young rookie's wild scheme, he says,
Well, son, it sounds like a far-fetched idea. Making rain by dropping dry ice from an airplane, but if it'll work, I say let's try it.
Swell, sir. We haven't got much time, but if you can just keep the fire checked until I can make the arrangements for the plane...
We'll do our best, son. Get into town on the double.
Yes, sir.
Contact Dr. Curtis. Tell him your problem. Tell him it may be the salvation of a whole community. Tell him we need rain.
A fantastic idea, yes. But any idea is worth trying if it will save a community of homes. And everybody from Chief Cody on down has agreed that the only thing that will halt the destructive forest fire is a drenching rain. But will the experiment work, dropping particles of dry ice into the air above the burning forest? Can man in an airplane really make rain? To learn the thrilling climax to this fire adventure, be sure to listen to the next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, here's Chief Bob Cody with an important notice for all firefighters. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. The safety tip I want to give you this time doesn't directly involve fires, but it is important because it could save you from a very serious accident. I was reminded of it the other day by a report that came to my desk. It told how an elderly man was very seriously injured in the bathroom of his home when he stood in a tub filled with water and turned on the electric light. Now, in the first place, it's not a good idea to have the light switch or cord near enough the tub so it can be reached by a person in the tub. But if the light switch or light cord in your bathroom is within reaching distance of the bathtub, never touch it while in a tub of water. For if there should be a short, it could give you a bad and perhaps fatal shock. Remember that, won't you? Never turn the light on or off while in the bathtub. Well, that's all for now. Till I drop in the next time. So long.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll!
Let's go! Firefighters is a copyrighted feature of William F. Holland Productions.